No coffee shops on the first date. That is, at least if you want to trust your own perception of whether you like the person you're going on the first date with or not. As it's all due to this thing called misattribution of arousal. Misattribution of arousal being a psychological theory that came from this specific paper from 1974. This study, known as the Dutton-Aron study or the suspension bridge study, basically took one female researcher and stuck her in the wild. And by in the wild, I mean in the public. Specifically in an area where there were two different bridges that the public could walk on. One of the bridges being a low, stable bridge, and the other being a very tall suspension bridge. And the female researcher's job on these bridges was to basically go up to specifically men in the public, asking them if they want to answer some survey questions, in which case they most likely said yes. Then after the study, she would basically give them her number and tell them that if they had any questions, comments, concerns about the study, that she would be the person to call to ask those questions, tell those comments, or give those concerns to. And what she discovered was later that night, she ended up getting the vast majority of calls from the men on the suspension bridge rather than from the men on the lower, more stable bridge. Which leads to this theory called the misattribution of arousal. As these men who were on the suspension bridge during the study misattributed their fear for arousal towards the pretty lady. Now, it's important to note misattribution of arousal is used a lot, specifically in dating shows, in which the couples are usually put somewhere like a helicopter really high up or on an adventure that kind of gets scary. But misattribution of arousal doesn't only happen whenever you experience fear. It can also happen whenever you intake stimulants like coffee, as caffeine from coffee and other drinks stimulate your central nervous system and basically create this state of arousal that you would also get if you were afraid of something. So if you're going on a first date and want to actually identify whether you like the person on the first date or not, maybe stay away from coffee shops, or at least stay away from consuming caffeine in said coffee shop. Or just take the information from this video and use your judgment from there.